Welcome to Iron Chef America, Battle of the Masters. I am your new chairman. We're gathered together here in our kitchen stadium for what shall be the sensory battle of a lifetime. My Uncle Kaga, the brave and beloved chairman of Japan's famed Gourmet Academy, has made a decision of satisfying sweetness. I cannot promise you who will win, but this much even I, your humble chairman, understand. This will truly be a most tantalizing battle of the masters.
Hi, I'm Alton Brown, and I will be your culinary commentator for Iron Chef America Battle of the Masters. If you're a fan of the original show, just think of me as Dr. Hattori, only better looking and, well, without a PhD. Exactly what was he a doctor of, anyway? Oh, well, that new chairman of ours seems to be especially fired up today, and he is not the only one. The mood here in Kitchen Stadium is ripe with, well, it's ripe, just trust me. And so let's waste no more time in finding out who the chairman in his great wisdom has deemed fit for battle this day.
Our American Iron Chefs know the sweet taste of freedom. In their bold choices and fearless fusions, they reflect the delicious diversity of our people. First, the master of California cuisine, a teacher of the culinary classics and an American success story. A friend to farmers and diners who adore his refined yet relaxed cuisine, Wolfgang Puck. Second, a gutsy master of soulful Italian cuisine who's living a delicious American dream. A man with incomparable taste and no time for pretense, Mario Batali. Finally, the bold visionary who has his fingers on the pulse of the American Southwest as well as the culinary beat of Spain. He heats up our world with vivid, spicy food. Bobby Flay. Chairman Kaga has shown our country great respect and extraordinary generosity in sending two of his legendary Iron Chefs. Giants of Kitchen Stadium battle who loom large in our shared food history. First, we are joined by one of Japan's most disciplined perfectionists, a master known far and wide as the king of the Iron Chefs, a man of the highest standards, Iron Chef French, Hiroyuki Sakai. This would be sacrifice enough for Kaga to make on our behalf. But he has also sent to us a visionary chef who has brought a remarkable infusion of new energy and creativity to Japanese cuisine. Iron Chef Japanese, Masaharu Morimoto. Today, two titans meet. For this shall go down in history as the day when Iron Chef Sakai does battle with Iron Chef Bobby Flay. Gentlemen, prepare for battle.
All I can say is it's the chairman's barbecue, and it tastes good. Sakai versus Flay promises to be a thriller because unlike his matches against the upstart Morimoto, Flay now faces the high reverend of Japanese and, come to think of it, maybe even French cuisines. Sakai is focused, he's disciplined, and he's serious as a heart attack, and he's sure not going to be thrown off of his game by any shenanigans by Chef Flay.
Now, here's the chairman with news on the secret ingredient.
Today, the secret ingredient is trout.
Wow. How am I gonna grab those? Oh my.
And now the moment of truth. I stand before you with a full heart and proudly proclaim the words of Kaga, a phrase that now resounds through all food history. I say unto you, Allez Cuisine!
Allez Cuisine. That's the chairman's call to battle here in Kitchen Stadium. Roughly translated from the French, it means go cook.
Well, the first thing we're going to find out is whether or not these chefs can actually fish for themselves.
Just cut the trout, keep them down.
And they are a lively lot. Obviously, these fish are not very interested in becoming cuisine quite yet.
Here I come. Excuse me. Out of the way.
It'll be interesting to see how they dispatch these critters. Ooh, we've got one down on the floor. He's escaping. He won't make it far, though. And Chef Flay delivers him safely to a cutting board. And there goes the salt. This is not a happy fish. Now happy is not really an issue for that fish anymore. Let's go. Now let's see what Chef Sakai is breaking out over there. With some rings of some type he's getting over there. He is using ring molds. So that tells me right off the bat that Chef Sakai is probably thinking about doing some kind of custard that he would be dealing with in those. On the floor, our spirited correspondent, Kevin Brosh.
There are eggs on the counter for Iron Chef Sakai there, Alton. Early words from the translator said he was actually originally worried about how to fish the trout out of the tank before he saw the net, and he went to his team for general consensus on which trout to use, and they said, go for the golden ones.
It is an animal that developed naturally. It was a natural variation that came out of West Virginia during the 50s. And somebody found this fish and decided to breed it with the regular rainbow trout and developed this kind of brand new trout.
One of his sous chefs has weighed out something really interesting that I don't really know what it is.
Looks like foie gras to me.
It's a good fish. Great, great. You can almost eat it raw.
Chef Flay is definitely putting together an aromatic combination over on the American side. Some ginger has gone into a pan along with some garlic. No idea what he's going to be doing with that yet. I don't think I've ever seen that Chef Flay uses ginger, but he certainly is in this case.
You okay? Now, Alton, in the Iron Chef Sakai's kitchen, was that the foie gras that went into the blender? Did you see that?
I did not see. Look around, and if you don't see the foie gras anymore, guess what?
That's got to be it,
probably went
right
in
there.
the blender. One of the courses that Sakai is going to go after here is definitely going to be a trout custard of some type. I understand it from one of the agents that we have sneaking around the floor that Chef Sakai is very excited by the fact that he's ended up with two different fish with two different interior colors. Apparently the contrast between the red flesh of one of the trout and the white flesh of the other is a symbol of good luck, a symbol of health, or of a celebration in his country. So perhaps that is a good omen for Chef Sakai. Beautiful knife skills this man has. I'm looking at a close-up right now. Obviously, that's the kind of skill that comes with years of pursuit. There's a can of coconut milk is opening up over here.
Hard to know exactly what Chef Flay is going to do with that, but my guess is that some kind of soup is in the works.
A gastrique is apparently being made over on Bobby Flay's side. And a gastrique is essentially a vinegar reduction, a very strong flavored dipping sauce that he's flavored apparently with habaneros.
This is a lot of vinegar. I'm going to take some of this out. Oh.
Chef Flay downloading a little bit of the vinegar that was going into his gastrique.
The trout's in here smoking?
Clearly, he was concerned about getting that reduction down in the amount of time he has. He's thinking ahead to when his service is and the fact that he's only got about 50 minutes left in this competition. Chef Sakai is lining his custard rings with these slices of cucumber, which is going to make for a beautiful presentation when it comes out of the ring. It looks like Bobby Flay is cranking up a smoker right there on his cooktop. This is a reliable kind of standard move for when you want to do a very, very quick smoke. I think from the smell that I'm getting over here, I think it's maple, although I'm not 100% sure. Wow, look at those steaks, those trout steaks that have been cut over by Chef Sakai. Just absolutely beautiful meat in there. Stunning quality of those fish. Crawfish, a favorite ingredient of Chef Flay. I see that he is working with those, and he's going to saute those. Now he has been icing down some of the fish. Beautiful.
Watch it, watch it, watch it.
A little bit of water hopping into that wok over there. You need to make sure people stay clear of that.
Alton, back here we have, with Patricia, one of Bobby Flay's sous chefs, we have some fried bacon, we have some red onions, and some avocado.
Avocado. Well, that screams guacamole. I certainly hope he's going to make a guacamole because those look like they are in the perfect condition for that. You know, and if he is going to use some guacamole, I'd be willing to bet that that's going to be dressed up with that smoked trout because that would be a killer combination. Okay, over on the Japanese side of the equation, what do they have down in that fryer-later?
I'm not
I did
sure.
Not see
we
it
had
go
something
down.
go in the deep fryer. Let me ask the translator for you, Alton. It looks
Kevin.
like we have some trout steaks that have been marinated in soy sauce.
And soy sauce? Well, soy's a great marinade and a classic marinade, that's for sure.
Iron Chef Sakai has also run back with some bell peppers, some green onion, some red onion, and some sort of root or tuber. I'm not sure what that is.
He's got a beautiful looking daikon sitting in that next tray. And of course, the daikon is a rather sweet radish used very often in Japanese cuisine. Interesting word derivations. Dai means large and kon means root. So daikon, large root, makes plenty of sense.
15 minutes have
Over in Iron
elapsed.
Chef Sakai's kitchen, we have some shark fin going into the wok.
Excellent. Not something that you see around here in kitchens too often. Often used as a soup base.
It's still early in the battle, but so far we've seen today's secret ingredient, trout, smoking on Chef Flay's side, and there's a trout custard with foie gras and deep-fried trout underway in Chef Sakai's kitchen.
So, craving more culinary battle? Stick around, because Iron Chef America will be right back.
Hi everyone, we're back here in Kitchen Stadium. I'm Alton Brown, and Battle Trout is just underway. In his infinite wisdom, the chairman has pitted Iron Chef Sakai, the grand master of all Iron Chefs, against Iron Chef Bobby Flay. Now, the extraordinary creations here in Kitchen Stadium do not exist in a vacuum. How will all of these savory delights play upon the palates of today's judges? Let's find out. Kevin Brosh, would you mind making the introductions, please?
Not at all, Alton. Konbanwa, everyone. First, he is a widely acclaimed chef who's worked everywhere, from a Little Caesars pizza joint to La Côte Basque. Chef Carrie Simon. She is the executive editor of one of the great journals for food lovers, Bon Appetit, Victoria Von Beal. Finally, he's a deliciously funny cultural observer who turns serious only during mealtime, Brian Unger.
Thanks, Kevin. So let's get back to the action. This is a very critical time for the Iron Chefs. It may seem like a lot of busy work with the filleting and chopping, but their strategy is now in place, and they cannot falter one bit. They have 5 dishes, only 60 minutes to prepare them in, and you have to commit to a game plan and stick with it. Now it looks like Flay's team is making their own masa over there.
They're working that corn in a bowl down on the other end of the kitchen. So they're definitely making tamales. It's just a matter of what they're going to end up putting inside of those. Kevin, can you get a look at what's going on in the wok over on the Japanese side of the kitchen?
Yeah, Sous Chef Komodo was just tasting the sauce in the wok. It's not ready yet, but he does seem rather pleased with how it's shaping up so far.
Great. Well, I understand that the shark fin broth that is working right now has some sugar in it, a few other things, but they're being very secretive about what that base is. That may be a signature preparation of Sakai's, and he's just not willing to part with that information. And I, for one, don't blame him. Over on the American side, I can see the Chef Flay has added some cream. From the looks of it, I would say heavy cream to the crayfish. So he's starting to tighten up that sauce. Still a mystery as to what he's going to be doing with that, whether he's going to puree that or let it stand on its own. Well, to give us a little more appreciation for today's battle is a man that has gone up against Bobby Flay in the kitchen before. Chef Morimoto has decided to give us a bit of his time, and we're honored to have him. Do you think that Chef Sakai, because of where he is and who he's battling today, is changing his style at all?
I saw the shark fin, so maybe he's going to do something like a Chinese style or more Asian types. It's going to come, I think.
Now, you've been in the kitchen with Chef Sakai many times before in your life. What drives him? What is it that keeps him going, pursuing what he's doing?
He has an open mind. If it's good, maybe he take the Chinese way, Vietnam, so Japanese. So he has the Japanese technique too. That's why I saw the cutting fish very well.
Yeah. So do you have any predictions on who is going to prevail at the end of the day?
I don't think good luck. Good luck.
Good luck to both of them, huh? Very diplomatic.
Yeah.
Thanks for being with us, Chef Morimoto.
Okay, we're looking back in Chef Flay's kitchen, and he's about to strain, what is that? Appears to be a soup. Oh, that's probably the soup he was making with coconut milk earlier, the one flavored with habanero chilies and onions. I don't know how today's secret ingredient, the trout, is going to figure into this, but we'll be watching to see what Chef Flay has up his sleeve.
Chef Sakai has pulled out a small charcoal grill from out of nowhere, and he is apparently grilling his trout as we speak.
The word from the floor is that Chef Sakai felt that the fish, being so fresh, is almost a bit too oily. So by searing it on the grill, he's actually eliminating some of the excess fat. And of course, it's going to add great flavor as well. So now Sakai's making a fine chop of that slightly grilled trout meat, and my guess is he's probably going to be using that in some sort of trout tartare.
Okay, over on the American side, I see one of my favorite cooking metals coming into play. From out of his back pocket or some other secret location, Chef Flay has pulled several, looks like about 4, maybe 5 cast iron skillets. Certainly good for fast searing and high heat cooking. It's hard to believe that that fish was even down on the charcoal long enough to take in a lot of flavor, but I'm certain that he knows exactly, precisely what he's doing. Meanwhile, Chef Flay continues, he's dressing his trout in the pan with some kind of herb that I can't quite make up from here, and some butter. It is tarragon. He is putting tarragon, salt, pepper, and a little fresh butter onto those fillets. Tarragon, of course, a very distinctive herb, very often found in French cuisine, has an unmistakable flavor and very strong fragrance.
30 minutes have elapsed.
It seems like Chef Sakai got a look at the clock and was maybe a little surprised at what he saw. Indeed, half an hour has already gone by here in Kitchen Stadium. What you got, Kevin?
Alton, he's got to be quite comfortable here in Kitchen Stadium because I've just done some research on Chef Sakai. He's been involved in no less than 26 battles involving fish and various seafood. So he's got to be pretty comfortable with today's secret ingredient.
I am relatively certain that during his time as an Iron Chef, Chef Sakai has never lost a battle involving fish. I'm going to do some quick checking on that, but I'm relatively certain the only sea life battle he lost, I believe, was a battle involving lobster. But he's never been defeated with fish, so he definitely knows his way around the gill set.
So Bobby Flay is going up against the winningest of all Iron Chefs. Before the competition began, we asked these chefs what they thought it would be like to face one another in battle.
Well, you know, Sakai, I think of him as sort of the creme de la creme of the Iron Chefs. I mean, he is very focused. He's very well versed in classic French cuisine. He can adapt to anything. Whatever ingredient is put up there, he's going to have 500 things in his head that he wants to do.
Bobby Flay. You know, I've seen his work twice in the past, and I believe the best strategy is to be myself and create my own dishes. I'll face him believing in my own victory. There's nothing else.
So Chef Flay is going to have to put something else in that pan. He's making a mad dash for some more cooking utensils. It's going to be interesting to see what he's going to do. Kevin, you were getting ready to tell me I was right about something, and Lord knows I don't want to miss that.
He has never lost a fish battle, and his nickname is, in fact, Fish Sakai.
Fish Sakai.
Yes.
Well, Fish Sakai is working on what is clearly now a tartare of trout. Earlier, we saw trout in the fry-later, but we haven't seen any of his dishes clearly defined as of yet. Meanwhile, Chef Flay is busily prepping his trout fillets for those cast iron pans. We have less than 30 minutes remaining in the competition, and when we return, maybe we'll find out what's going into that blender. Back here in Kitchen Stadium, it's Battle Trout. Chef Sakai's menu is still a bit of a mystery. He's lightly grilled some of his trout for a tartare and is deep frying trout steaks. Meanwhile, Chef Flay is smoking away and preparing what I'm thinking is a coconut soup. Hey Kevin, what's being mixed over there on Sakai's side of the kitchen?
Over here in Iron Chef Sakai's kitchen, his sous chef Uchioda has dumped some homogenized milk, some cane sugar, and some trout into the blender.
See, milk, sugar, and trout in a blender. Gosh darn it, that sounds like dessert to me. Chef Sakai is stuffing the tartare into the molds. So I may have been wrong. I thought this was going to be someplace where the custard went, but he is loading up those rings with his tartare. To give us a little insight from way up on the far side of Kitchen Stadium is Kevin with our esteemed judges. What do they have to say up there, Kevin?
Well, this may be the best view in the house. I think they're getting good view of the action here in Kitchen Stadium. Chef Curry Simon, what do you think of today's action so far?
I think it's amazing. You know, you watch the first 5 minutes, they must have such an adrenaline rush to take that trout and go down and clean it. It's got to be like all their minds are going wild. So then to see them focus and watch how it kind of transitions into this sort of like everybody knows that they're coming down to the finishing mark and they're like moving smoothly and there's hardly any communication now where there was a lot of like bantering before. It's got a good energy to it for sure.
Moving over to Victoria Von Beal from Bon Appetit magazine. Who are your eyes sort of moving to more? Are you staying with Iron Chef Sakai or do you fall in the very handsome Iron Chef Bobby Flay?
Well, you know, Bobby Flay always like to look at him, but you know, the Chef Sakai's, there's some interesting stuff going on down here. So both very interesting.
Great, and I'm going to move over here to Brian Unger, our cultural observer for the evening here in the judges' table. Brian, what have you been observing so far that's cultural and interesting at the same time?
Well, what I'm observing most is the smell. It's wonderful. It's one thing to watch this on television and be hungry, but to be hungry and sitting up here, very difficult.
Well, you only have about 25 minutes left, sir, until you get to taste the food. Thank you guys for being here.
Speaking of observing smells, Chef Sakai's team has been working on a second soup. Now, that's not the shark fin broth. This is going to be a spicy soup. We've seen shiitake mushrooms go in, spicy pepper sauce, and Chinese cabbage. Word from my sources on the floor is that Chef Sakai's deep-fried trout may find a home in this soup as well.
Ooh, it looks like we're making. Oh, they've gone to the ice cream maker over on the Sakai side. So I'm going to assume that mixture of sugar, milk, and trout is maybe going right into that machine. Meanwhile, over on the Flay side, they are building tamales over on one side of the kitchen, and looks like they've got sweet potato going in there with some other ingredients. So they did add a little bit of lemon, a little citrus to brighten up that trout. We now know that is golden trout ice cream indeed going in there. And I might mention that is going in raw, so that's going to be a raw trout ice cream, which I guess that makes that kind of a sushi gelato. I don't know. We'll see how that works. Over on the American side, it looks like Chef Flay's working some hominy there. He's working on his grits, I think. I think he's working on those grits. He sure is. A beautiful hominy grits that he's got. Those are absolutely gorgeous. He's got a real corn theme going on here, which makes a lot of sense with the trout because those are flavors that get along very, very well. You're definitely going to have the corn flavor that's coming out of the tamales and the corn in the grits. I think that maybe over on Sakai's side of the equation, they might be a little nervous about this. You know, I don't remember there being an ice cream churn on the original Iron Chef set, so they may not know for sure how this is going to turn out. It might be an interesting thing.
Very right, Alton. Apparently, they have never made this kind of ice cream before, so they are a bit nervous.
Well, you know, considering that he's never lost a fish battle, I don't think he's got anything to really be that nervous about, except for the fact that he's cooking across from one of the most innovative chefs that America's got, Bobby Flay, who is cooking up an absolute storm.
A bit of friendly rivalry here, Alton, from Iron Chef Sakai. We're looking at some fillets back on the hibachi grill. Now they're off, but he was joking about not being a friend of Bobby Flay, at least not in Kitchen Stadium. He's taking this very seriously.
Well, you know, I'm sure that off on the street they're best buds, but here on the playing field, keep on the game face.
And right now we're getting some smiling and I think some friendly taunting.
Ooh, Chef Bobby Flay is sliding his cast iron vessels into the oven, loaded up with that trout. Perfect vessels for the job. I understand that Bobby Flay has made up a serious rub, a wet rub, in fact, involving a bunch of different chilies, dried chilies that are his favorite, beat down into a powdered form that he's going to be rubbing right on the fish. And hopefully, he's going to go easy on that stuff because that is a lot of flavor packed in there.
15 minutes to go.
Chef Flay getting a taste of what he's got working over here. A good chef tastes continuously through the cooking process. You got to taste, you got to feel, you got to look, you got to smell, and use all your senses. That's what it is to be a good chef.
And also over on Chef Flay's side, there's that guacamole that was started earlier. And going into it, yes, that's the smoked trout, just as I had suspected. What a great combination that is going to be. Avocado and smoked trout.
Chef Sakai is making some beautiful little garnishes out of what I think is watercress. It looks like watercress from my angle. There's a member of the mustard family that grows only in cool, clean, flowing water. Very distinctive flavor, a little bit peppery, a little bit mustardy. Chef Flay is cracking open some coconut and reclaiming some of the water or milk coming out of that coconut. He just opened that right up with the back of a large cleaver, very skillfully. I would have taken my hand clean off if I had tried that. I'm wondering if Chef Flay is going to keep those coconut sides so that he can use them as bowls. You know, Chef Sakai's been cranking out these very small, delicate garnishes, which I understand is kind of a trademark of his.
Alton, we have some caviar.
Well, gosh darn it, caviar is never a bad thing. Chef Sakai is using what looks to be some Osetra caviar from the Osetra sturgeon, one of the varieties which is actually farm-raised here in the United States. Bobby seems to be adding crab meat to his coconut milk and shrimp stock mixture. I don't know quite what he's going to be doing with those. But this robust battle will continue when Iron Chef America returns.
Welcome back to Kitchen Stadium. I'm Alton Brown, and Battle Trout has less than 15 minutes remaining. Chef Sakai has been working methodically through an extraordinary trout tartare set in cucumber cups with American farmed caviar, while Chef Flay has been cracking coconuts and beautifully browning trout on the grill. And now, the plating has begun. Plating is all about the visual layout of the food. We eat with our eyes before we eat with our mouths, so it better look good if it's gonna taste good.
On Sakai's side, the tartare is complete, and it is beautiful. So he's going to be moving on. Wow, some very nice construction going on over on Bobby Flay's side. I can't quite see what they plated.
Might be blue corn tortilla.
Oh, that's right.
Blue corn tortilla chips.
They actually use blue corn tortilla that they basically julienned and laid right on there. Well, it certainly makes a stunning presentation. Certainly wouldn't have thought of that myself.
On Chef Sakai's side, I'm told that's a mixture of olive oil and parsley he's heating up, certain to be used in the plating of one of his dishes.
We see that there's still a good bucket full of trout over on Chef Bobby Flay's side, and they're definitely going to be using the coconut shells as bowls for what I assume is going to be their soup. Can't quite make out Chef Flay's. Oh, he's going to go straight. He has battered an entire trout with that blue cornmeal and put it right into what smells to me to be peanut oil, probably over in that wok. He's deep frying the entire fish.
Alton?
Yes,
Just have a bit of news from Iron Chef Sakai's side.
Yes.
It seems Bobby Flay may have cut just a bit of a break. It looks like a conversation between Iron Chef Sakai and one of the sous chefs they've forgotten one of their dishes, and with only about 12 minutes left, I don't know if they're going to be able to get to it.
Well, you know, this could just be a piece of subterfuge to increase the value of the theater going on here.
I'm sure we've seen that before.
Very difficult for me to believe that Chef Sakai forgot to do anything. That would be unprecedented. But hey, he is using different sous chefs in there than he's used to, so maybe a little communication went awry there. Bobby Flay's cast iron skillet is out of the oven. The crawfish sauce is going over the trout right into the hot pan, and he's added the tarragon. Of course, there was some tarragon on the fish originally, so what he's done is he's getting 2 releases of that herb. Has a seaweed kelp-like product gone into the fryer over there?
We're just trying to source what it actually is, Alton.
Okay. Because it looks like
kombu kelp. Kombu kelp.
Kombu kelp. It is kombu, which we know is a very, very popular ingredient in Japanese cuisine. It's a big, big leaf that is often sliced open to release the glutamic acid, which is related to MSG that's inside of it. Yes.
And with it, the parsley and the olive oil.
You know, the parsley and the olive oil, I knew that was going to happen. When you said olive oil, I thought kombu. I thought that's what he's going to do.
I knew you did.
10 minutes to go.
Go ahead. You got one fish out?
They've got
How's
one
it look?
fish out of the fry.
Just say yes.
Really excited to be seeing that wok used for these whole deep fried fish. Trout is the perfect fish for that application. Well, the judges will be able to eat that skin and all. Wow, some incredible platings going over on the Japanese side. The seasoned oil that we saw Chef Sakai's team blending up a while ago has gone down around his creation, which is just really, really stunning. Looks like, is that some bamboo up on top of that? I can't quite tell. Sakai has just garnished the fried trout with shia isha kobu, I think is how that's pronounced, which is basically a white kelp, which I personally have never seen before, and I'm sure I butchered the name, and I do apologize for that. Kevin, what do you have to tell us?
Something very sweet happening here in Iron Chef Sakai's kitchen. We have some honey out, and we have a number of mixed berries that look like they might accompany the ice cream.
I feel certain that the berries are going to go with the ice cream, maybe with the honey around the outside of the plate. If I was him, I would be worried about that the fact that ice cream's got raw fish in it. I might be trying to hedge my bets.
How many minutes, please?
Beautiful. We're looking at a little under 7 minutes left in this competition. 6 minutes and 45 seconds. Victoria, what do you think?
Oh, yeah, we're ready. We're ready up here.
Any dish from your angle look like something you're particularly interested in getting your teeth into?
I'm pretty curious about that ice cream.
Pretty curious about the ice cream?
Yeah.
You know, I'm curious enough to let somebody else try it first. I don't know. Maybe you can get Carrie Simon, who's pretty adventurous, to lock in it. Or you know what? Give it to Brian. Brian will eat anything, I'm told.
I will. I'll be your guinea pig on the ice cream. No problem.
Tamale's coming out of the steamer in Chef Flay's kitchen, and he's just bare-handing those things out of there. This is a man with asbestos for hands. And it looks like Bobby's going to use the cast iron skillets as his presentation device. So he's actually going to be plating on them.
Alton.
Yes, Kevin.
Watch Iron Chef Sakai as he peels this apple. This is unbelievable.
That is not human. Human beings can't do that. It's one of his specialties, and I can see why. If I tried that, any apple would be red by the third swipe, simply because I would have cut my thumb clean off. Don't try this at home, kids. Sakai is a professional. This man is a master with garnishes. Beautiful presentation in that goblet with the berries. I'm still a little suspicious of the trout ice cream, but he's making it look so beautiful. I might eat just about anything that came out of there. Nice little flip of the wrist turns the something over in a pan over there on Bobby Flay's side. As he continues to build his soup presentation. So we've got very, very fragrant, hot, heated spices that are going to go in around that soup, which is very, very interesting because then as the people start to eat that soup, the fragrance is going to waft up and it's going to change the overall flavor of the dish. Well, we're down to 3 minutes, 30 seconds in the competition here in Kitchen Stadium. And I, for one, think this is one of the more exciting competitions that I have ever seen. The amount of focus that this team's have.
I had it in the chili. You pulled it out.
It's right here.
3 minutes to go.
Alton, some deep-fried skin of trout is actually being put into the ice cream, I guess, as a decoration or garnish.
Well, if you're going to make trout ice cream, why not top it with fried trout skin, is what I always say. Of course, in sushi shops, salmon skin is a frequent contributor, and they are in the same family, trout and salmon, so why not? And Bobby is bringing out his soup that he's getting ready to serve, the coconut soup coming out. Really fascinated by that combination of the trout with the coconut. What is Chef Sakai getting ready to pour over there? I see a tiny bottle.
Okay, it's you.
It looks like it's a basil oil, Alton.
Basil oil?
It's grapeseed oil. I'm sorry.
Grapeseed oil.
How much time?
You're looking at 1 minute, 30 seconds, Chef Flay. The gastrique did indeed go over Bobby's fried fish, that whole fried fish, which is the perfect place for it to go. Woo! Very exciting dish. A lot of smoke being generated here.
Well, it looks like Team Sakai is gift wrapping a pot, and I'm thinking that's a pot full of soup with Chinese cabbage. Wish I was going to be unwrapping it.
Every available inch of counter space is being used here for tonight's trout battle.
So the top is the Spanish word for small dishes, the small bites that are served, well before dinner time.
Just a few seconds left now. Both chefs getting their trouts in a row, so to speak. Final touches, last looks.
Chef Flay thinking it through, making his last moves, deciding what to do.
Hey, there's a little showboating from Sakai. You don't see that very often. He must be very pleased.
15
Chef Flay is ladling his coconut soup with the grilled trout into the hollowed-out coconut shell. Clever presentation. That's going to be worth some points. There's the mystery gift from Sakai's team. Two fierce competitors. What a battle.
2, 1.
And that concludes Battle Trout, ladies and gentlemen. Well, it's all over except for the judging. So we'll lick our lips and await the verdict when Iron Chef America returns. Welcome back to Kitchen Stadium, where the battle has been fast and furious this evening.
Our Iron Chefs, Sakai and Flay, have each prepared 5 dishes, each using today's secret ingredient, trout. Now, before the tasting and judging begin, you need to know we have rules around here, okay? And to explain these rules, we're going to go to my good friend, Kevin Broush.
A maximum of 10 points can be awarded for overall taste in the presentations. Up to 5 points can be awarded for plating and the designs of the plates. And finally, another 5 points can be awarded for the originality in the use of tonight's special ingredient. That would be trout.
What was your approach once you realized what the secret ingredient was?
Well, I have to say, Mr. Chairman, you gave us a very difficult task today. The trout really threw me right away, especially with the fact that they were alive. They were kicking, and they were big. They were bigger than I could imagine because I've never cooked a trout that big. I went to the ingredients that I know better than others. We stayed along the southwest of America, into the south a little bit, and then the Mediterranean as well.
May we begin the meal?
Let's begin.
Bon appetit.
We're going to start today with some tapas. We'll start with the top left. It's a flatbread that has smoked trout, and he topped it with a thick Greek yogurt with dill, cucumbers, and garlic, and then some trout eggs. Right below you is a salad of trout and bacon, and some greens, a little bit of garlic. The one to the right of the salad is a trout tangerine amandine. And then on top, you can actually pick that one up if you wanted to. It's a plantain tostone. It's a crisp plantain fried twice with an avocado cocktail sauce.
I love the guacamole here. And the citrus flavor is really, really delicious.
This is a soup made with coconut milk, ginger, garlic, onions. And I'm gonna overflow the soup a little bit. When I went to Tokyo, the first time for Iron Chef, it was the first time I had gone to a sushi restaurant where they served the sake in the little boxes, and they were overflowing. And I said, you know, what is that all about? And I was told that it was showing that sort of overflowing affection, so to speak. So I want to do the same thing with the soup.
Who would expect, you know, this style of soup with the intense spiciness to have something like trout in it? It's a wonderful, it's unexpected.
Okay, this course is a Yucatan-style trout taco. You'll also find the smoked trout guacamole. And then there's also a little hot sauce on top, so be careful.
The smokiness of the trout, and then the guacamole, and then the sweetness from the mangoes, and the cilantro, the crunchiness of the blue corn tortillas, it makes it work, brings it all together.
This is sort of my stop in Louisiana. I love grits, and these grits we actually cut ourselves, and we cook the trout fillets in the cast iron pan, and I think it should be served sort of Southern style in the cast iron pan.
I think the simplicity of this dish is really, really appealing. The flavors just shine through, and it's a great counterpoint to the other things that we've had so far.
Okay, this dish, we used rice flour and blue cornmeal to sort of crisp up the fish, and we just made a very, very, very light, sort of sweet, sour, peppery sauce. The tamale is made with fresh corn and sweet potatoes, and there's a maple and pecan butter in there as well.
The flavor of the trout just comes through so beautifully here.
Cooking fish on the bone is so great too. It stays so moist. It's really keeps the integrity of it, I think, a lot.
Tamale is really unique and very sweet and plays off the mildness of the trout.
Thank you.
It's really great.
Chef Flay, we thank you for your magnificent meal.
Thank you very much.
Chef Sakai, how would you describe today's approach to this battle?
Today, well, I was surprised by the live trout, but I knew I would have a good time cooking, and I hope the judges will like what I've prepared.
May we begin?
Yes. Thank you.
Bon appetit.
Thank you. This is kind of like a trout custard. It's kind of like a flan. You know flan? It's got trout and soup stock, Chinese soup stock, and cream, and some eggs and foie gras.
The trout is so delicate in this. It's such it just points up the delicateness of the fish so beautifully.
Why did you add shark fin?
I have a good friend, Iron Chef Chen. He was supposed to be here this time, but he couldn't make it. So shark fin is one of his signature ingredients, and this is to honor Chef Chen.
The shark's fin is really, really nice. I love the texture of it. It's like...
Me too.
So it's almost like sort of a noodle.
This is trout tartare that's put inside cucumber and topped with caviar. Now make sure you put a little ginger sauce and a squeeze of lime when you eat this.
Such an elegant dish. Such a, again, the delicacy of the fish coming through so beautifully, just accented by that lime and ginger.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not letting this one go.
Yeah.
So this is a gift from me to honor the new Kitchen Stadium. It's also a gift for all of you. This is my own personal favorite soup that I make when I'm at home, and it's pretty spicy. So there's fried trout, shiitake mushrooms, Chinese cabbage, vinegar, and pepper.
The trout here has a sort of crispiness in it that makes it different from what came before. It's very it has a lot of texture, even though it's in soup. You expect it to be slightly soggier. It's not. It's very crisp and holds up. It's really unique.
Well, this is such good quality fresh fish. I cook the whole thing with the skin. With this fish, there's a kombu kelp, red bell pepper, olive oil, parsley sauce, and fried onions.
Yet another exquisitely plated dish.
Yeah, I know.
It's such a simple fish to work with that you don't want to do too many things with it. So you have the kelp, there's a little crunchiness from the vegetables. It works well. That's why I said it was like very Mediterranean in feel.
We're gonna finish with something that's sweet. You'll probably be surprised. This is trout ice cream. It's pureed with sugar and milk, and on top, that's the trout skin. It's very crispy. It's sort of like a cracker.
It's really subtle, but you can taste the trout in the ice cream, and the ice cream is not overly sweet, so it's actually really very mild.
And the berries, I like it. It works well with the berries and the bananas. And
Well, I can get you more.
this is what we call extreme cuisine.
Chef Sakai, we thank you for your incredible creations and your fearlessness in battle.
Well, there you have it. This competition is now in the hands of our judges who are sequestered atop Kitchen Stadium. Our chairman will declare a victor when Iron Chef America returns.
Welcome back to Kitchen Stadium, everyone. I'm Alton Brown. Today, the masters, Iron Chefs Hiroyuki Sakai and Bobby Flay, have taken trout to new levels of culinary inventiveness. The judges have sampled their extraordinary creations, and they have voted.
Now, to give us the decision of the judges, I give you the chairman.
Sadly, only one chef can triumph in our battle. And so now I am prepared to hand down our judges' verdict as to the eternal question: whose cuisine reigns supreme? And in the battle royale of Sakai and Flay, today's winning master is Iron Chef Bobby Flay.
There's a total of 60 possible points for the competition. Iron Chef Flay received 55 points, while Iron Chef Sakai scored 51.
I have to say, you know, sitting over here and watching you work, I think there might have been a couple of times during this competition where you doubted.
Oh, there's no question about it. I mean, first of all, you know, when you go against the Babe Ruth of Iron Chef, you know, you're just lucky to be there, so to speak.
Chef, congratulations on
Appreciate
a job well done.
Thank you.
On behalf of the chairman, the Iron Chefs, my colleague Kevin Brosh, and all the staff here at Kitchen Stadium, I'm Alton Brown, bidding you a good night.
Thanks, man. We're going to start today with some tapas. We'll start with the top left. It's a flatbread that has smoked trout, and he topped it with a thick Greek yogurt with dill, cucumbers, and garlic, and then some trout eggs. Right below you is a salad of trout and bacon, and some greens, a little bit of garlic. The one to the right of the salad is a trout tangerine amandine. And then on top, you can actually pick that one up if you want to. It's a plantain tostone. It's a crisp plantain fried twice with an avocado cocktail sauce. I mean, the idea is you have one ingredient that you need to showcase. And so we wanted to start off with sort of little bites of big flavor from sort of different parts of the world.
Well, there's so many different things, but nothing gets lost. It all seems to work well together. So.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Did you have an adrenaline rush when you grabbed those trout out of the?
Yeah. I mean, it was pretty intimidating. I have to be honest. I mean, we usually don't get live trout in the kitchens. They usually sort of come deceased, so to speak. And so, you know, all of a sudden the 60 minutes got very short in one quick breath. This is a soup made with coconut milk and ginger, garlic, and onions. And I'm gonna overflow the soup a little bit. When I went to Tokyo, the first time for Iron Chef, it was the first time I had gone to a sushi restaurant where they served the sake in the little boxes, and they were overflowing. And I said, you know, what is that all about? And I was told that it was showing that sort of overflowing affection, so to speak. So I wanted to do the same thing with the soup.
My coconut runneth over.
Yes, exactly. We don't want your coconut to be half empty.
So what is this, just trout in here, did you say?
It's trout and some crab as well.
And some crab, right. This is just extraordinary. I mean, the richness of the coconut and the amazing aroma of the spices combined into just a wonderful dish. And it looks so fabulous as well. I mean, it tastes great, looks wonderful.
Oh yeah, the cilantro is great. All the flavors, so many different things coming at you. It's amazing.
And the idea behind the spices on the bottom of the bowl is for you to actually imagine them in the soup, so to speak, because you even asked if, are they in the
Well,
soup?
you pick up on it, definitely, just from, the aroma.
It's got some spice to it, huh?
There's definitely some habanero to go against. Whenever I cook, there's always something there that's gonna sort of give you a little bit of bite, some kind of edge. It could be acidic, it could be spicy, it could be tart. But I like to make food that lets you know it's there, so to speak, without going overboard. It's very important to balance the flavors.
The cilantro really helps out with the taste of it.
You like the cilantro?
Yeah, because when you're tasting the spiciness and then the cilantro, it sort of interacts where it cools it down a little bit too.
And I think the creaminess of the coconut is just brilliant too. With
Coconut's one of my favorite ingredients.
Yeah.
And I also use the coconut water from cracking open.
Yeah, I saw you doing that.
Yeah.
Now, would you actually make that soup in your restaurant?
Absolutely.
You would?
Yeah.
So
I would definitely make a version of it for sure. I probably would not have thought of putting trout in it before today.
You would just done crab?
I could, yeah, for sure. I could have done crab.
What was it about the trout that inspired that dish?
Well, I was thinking about, what do trout do? They swim.
Yeah.
So why not swim in a soup?
Okay.
So I was thinking the liquid.
Because this is the first time you've ever done it. You
Yes.
said. Okay.
First time I've done a lot of these things. Okay, this course is a Yucatan-style trout taco. You'll also find a smoked trout guacamole. And then there's also a little hot sauce on top, so be careful. It has 2 kinds of trout on it. I should say 2 preparations of trout. In our marinade is 3 different kinds of red chilies: anchos, pasillas, and chili de arbo. The anchos are fruity, the pasillas are earthy, and the chili de arbo is spicy. And then we thin it out with some citrus juices, tangerine and lime, and some olive oil. And we run it through. We don't marinate the fish, but we run the fillets through the marinade and then grill it. So it caramelizes on the outside. And then there's 2 kinds of tortillas. There's a flour tortilla that was just sort of warmed on the grill. And then there's very thin strips of blue corn tortillas. That's for contrast of texture. In my opinion, the 2 most important things in food is flavor and texture. But in my opinion, contrast of texture, so it's fun to eat. By the way, when you go to eat this, please roll it up with your hands and just take a bite. If you want to, it's up to you.
And you said use your fingers.
If you want to, sure.
I'm just a hillbilly from Ohio, and we eat with our fingers.
With your hands?
Absolutely.
So I'm not going to apologize.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's a good taco.
Oh my God.
Thank you.
That is really good.
Yeah.
Wow. I love those crunchy tortilla strips.
Yeah.
That is such a great addition.
You're right, it really makes a difference.
There's almost a sweetness in there somewhere.
There's some habanero. We made a hot sauce with habaneros and mangoes. Very good, Mr. Simon. Perfect. He's right on always. There's 2 kinds of hot sauces. There's 2 kinds of hot sauces, 2 kinds of tortillas, and 2 kinds of trout. The 2 hot sauces are mango habanero, and there's also a tomatillo serrano chili. So it's a green and sort of an orangey yellow hot sauce.
God, this is killer. This is so good.
And the trout guacamole, do you have to puree all that together?
What we do is we chop the avocado with some onions, some jalapenos, some cilantro, some lime juice. And then we took the smoked trout. We smoked the trout there in the maple wood and brown sugar. And we let it cool down and we flaked it off and we just folded it into the guacamole at the last minute. And you'll taste some smokiness there.
Yeah. So will this be coming to a taco stand nearby soon?
This is sort of my stop in Louisiana. I love grits. And these grits we actually cut ourselves. And we cook the trout fillets in the cast iron pan. And I think it should be served sort of Southern style in the cast iron pan.
Once again, a lot of flavors coming at you.
The grits are sort of like the South's answer to polenta, so to speak. The grits to me is sort of the canvas here. It's sort of the foundation of it.
Yeah.
And then we put the bigger flavors on the trout itself with the crawfish and the smoked paprika. A lot of times you'll taste instant grits and they won't have a lot of flavor.
These are nothing like instant grits. These are the best grits I have ever had.
Well, that's
These are
good. Thank you.
Amazing. The texture alone is.
Just be careful of the pan. I don't want anybody getting hurt.
Why would you use a cast iron pan to do it? Is there like Alton was saying that the heat of a pan like this is unmatched. Is that true?
It really is. The beauty of the cast iron pan is it retains its heat. It holds its heat very well. It cooks things very evenly. You know, what we did with this, I didn't even heat up the pan. I filleted the trout after I wrangled them, filleted the trout, put a fillet in the bottom of the pan, cold, and put it in the oven and covered it with its cover. And just let it sort of roast or steam in the pan itself, very slowly with some tarragon.
I think the simplicity of this dish is really, really appealing. The flavors just shine through, and it's a great counterpoint to the other things that we've had so far. You taste the crawfish, you taste the trout, you taste the wonderful grits.
What did you put on the trout?
Tarragon. I think tarragon and shellfish go rather well together, so the crawfish and the tarragon are sort of the match there.
And it's a beautiful use of tarragon too, which can be so overpowering.
Right, and I didn't want to overpower the trout. I mean, sometimes it's hard to remember in these battles that, you know, the main ingredient is the main ingredient.
Yeah.
Okay, this dish, we used rice flour and blue cornmeal to sort of crisp up the fish, and we just made a very, very, very light sort of sweet, sour, peppery sauce. The tamale is made with fresh corn and sweet potatoes, and there's a maple and pecan butter in there as well. When people ask me who do I think is, you know, the most important chef in America, you know, I immediately respond Wolfgang Puck, because in my opinion, he gave somebody like Kerry and I a chance to get a job, basically. He helped revolutionize the way we look at food in this country. And when I walked into his restaurant the very first time, he had this sizzling catfish, that he called it. And the catfish came out whole, sizzling, crispy, sort of swimming on the plate as I got to the table. And I've never forgotten that dish. It was something that, you know, it was just sort of rested in my head somewhere. And so when I saw the trout, I thought immediately of that dish.
The flavor of the fish just comes through so beautifully. It's such a pure flavor. And it's just a fabulous way to serve this trout.
You know, I mean, it's a little challenging to eat, but, you know, I think that we wanted to show the trout, and it's just...
Yeah, it's an homage to trout.
It's an homage to trout.